Hi, I'm Damini Celebrate, and thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to talk about, actually, let's back up completely. Um, why am I offering these conversations? Because I feel like it's super important to connect with your creativity and your heart. And what I know is when you connect with your creativity and your heart, you can live the life that you want to live. You can be the person you want to be. So, welcome. Welcome to the discussion of your inner landscape. And today I want to talk about what does it mean to paint the landscape of your soul. So, before I begin, I want to go ahead and get a candle, light a candle, and just kind of land here. Okay, so just give me one sec. Great. So I believe that painting with your heart, connecting with your heart and your soul is a profound, sacred healing practice. And because most of us are pretty busy, and if we're busy in our lives or busy in our head, it's important to mark some time that's for you. And a couple good ways to do that is to light a candle and use some incense or sage or something that kind of uses your sense of smell to tell you you're coming into sacred space. You could bring some flowers in, like you can open up and use all your senses to do this. So first, I'm going to light a candle. And not only is the candle super significant to kind of tell my body, mind, spirit, muscle memory that I'm coming into sacred space, on some level it also reminds me of the light that's in my heart. On the good days and the not so good days, I still know that this light in my heart is there, and it's thriving and it's passionate. So lighting the candle. And if I'm just home by myself, I'll use some sage or some incense, but because we're on the call, I'm going to use, it's a fairy bell, and I use this sound to kind of just let go of what I don't need to hold on to for right now. I know, and we know, we can pick it up after the call, but for now, just close your eyes and invite whatever you don't want to hold on to right now to just to let go with your breath. Beautiful. So I'll lay these all right here in my pastel pile. So what does it mean to paint the landscape of your soul? That's been a question that folks have been emailing me or messaging me. And before I even start, what does it mean to paint the landscape of your soul? There's a couple things I like to invite you to just be with for a while. There's I call them our inner landscapes, which is our place inside our body that accesses our higher self, the higher expression of ourself, our heart, our soul, and all the parts of us that are housed in our beautiful body. So it's our intuition and our body wisdom that helps you access this part of yourself. And connecting in with your inner landscape allows you to begin to look at patterns, stories, bullshit that is holding you back, that is perceived to hold you back, and to look at them to kind of desensitize them. Because sometimes you come up with a story that almost feels like you can't go forward because it's so emotionally charged. And when you begin to look at that by journaling, by drawing, by doing movement, and by painting, you gain understanding. And generally that part of you that's in a twist with that pattern will often feel safe enough to start being part of your life. I mean, I believe that painting the landscape of your soul, the combination of things that I offer in the book, which is over there, is really a profound healing journey back to yourself. And so connecting with your body wisdom and your intuition and that higher aspect of yourself is your inner landscape. And the other part of yourself is the outer landscape that I talk a lot about every Monday morning, or every morning on Instagram. And your outer landscape is your connection with nature, with the world around you, and your relationship to the web of life, nature around you. And so on Instagram, I actually kind of give you a little short experience, meditation, if you will, of what it's like and how it empowers you and heals you to connect with your outer landscape. But these calls on Wednesdays are a way to really kind of work through the book, Painting the Landscape of Your Soul, which I know every time I hold this up, it's backwards, but you can get the idea of this, right? But these conversations on Wednesdays are about just helping you understand why I think it's so important and why I spend a lot of time really trying to get this word out. Sorry. Talk about moments, right? Things go across your phone, you get sidetracked, right? The beauty of painting also is it gets to keep you in the moment, and it gets our crazy little minds from not thinking about, oh, what was that text, and who just showed up, and blah, 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 blah. So as you can see, I've gone somewhere else for a moment. So let me come back to this. What does it mean to paint the landscape of your soul? Painting the landscape of your soul brings you back home to yourself. And it's simply done by connecting with your body wisdom, and your emotions. And in the last two calls, I actually did a lot of quite a few exercises with connecting to your emotions and how we are attached to some emotions being good or bad. But when you paint, when you trust your body to lead the way, when you trust the energy of the emotion to lead the way, then what happens is emotions come up as they come up, and you're not censoring them so much. So painting the landscape of your soul is a combination of energy healing, shamanism, and intuitive creation. And all those things together help you understand yourself in a much, much deeper level. And, here I am plugging in the book again, but I encourage you to get one. And some people have told me that they use it like an oracle. They just kind of flip it open and say, what exercise are we doing today? Or what exercise or what needs to be read today? And I'm totally babbling on today, but hello. So painting the landscape of your soul allows you to connect in with your body, because your body and your body wisdom is the thing, the thing that's going to allow you to understand yourself at a deeper level. So I sometimes talk about something about being shiny or being your bright self or being all of those things. But what I'm really talking about is accepting where you are in the moment. So if you are in a really great mood, or if you're really in a shitty mood, or you're just terrified about going forward with something, or you've touched into shame or embarrassment or not loving yourself, that's all part of who you are. In shamanism, there's this technique called soul retrieval, and very loosely interpret it. I think about soul retrieval as bringing all of you home, bringing all of the parts of yourself that you've tucked in off to the side because they just weren't comfortable or you didn't feel safe to have them in the fold. And so when you do intuitive creation, at least in the process that I take you through, you're very lovingly and gently touching those parts of yourself and getting to get a better understanding of who you are and where you're going in your life. And you all do that by paint. And the beauty of this process, I'll just check the time here, the beauty of this process is not about allowing your mind to govern the mood. Because here's the thing about our mind. Our minds are brilliant. Our minds hold on to an enormous amount of information, but our mind can also kind of get stuck in a pattern, in a direction. Like I've been fixated for years about moving somewhere, and so if I don't perceive that I'm moving, then I feel like I've been a failure, right? Blah, 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 right? But what that is it's my mind telling me I'm a failure. Really, there's been enormous growth and enormous change in my life, and what keeps me knowing that is that I come back to myself using paint and paper, putting paint on paper. Okay, so clearly I'm just rambling on today, but what I like to do is give you a moment to come into yourself, and I hope if you do, you have some crayons or some paint and paper around or something like that. And I've been really into using these journals, and I think you've seen them online, but these journals are great because they can hold an enormous amount of paper. But you can use a notebook, you can use a really beautiful journal, but make sure if you're going to use paint that it's something thick enough to hold on to the paint so your paper doesn't disintegrate. So go ahead and get your tools out. See if you have some paper, some pencils, crayons, pastels, and a book. And we are going to go through an exercise today. So there's a lot of different ways to connect in. Some people paint the landscape of your soul by just asking your body, what do you want to show me today? And then the process is that when something pops into your head, you say what color or what shape wants to show up on the paper. So intention kind of directs something into your body a little bit. So the intention today is you're going to kind of inquire into your body to show you what wants to come up to the surface as we move into spring. And we've just moved into Lunar New Year, which is the beginning of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. And so what is it that your higher self or your heart, or whatever that word is for you, wants to enlighten you about as we move forward with the light, going forward into the light? And what you're going to do, and I'm going to take you through this little guided visualization, but I'll invite you to hold that intention into your body. And then I'm going to invite you to come into your body and touch base with a feeling or an emotion. And then you're going to go ahead and express that feeling and emotion with paint. So this work is not about making something look like it is. It's about expressing what is inside your body that wants to come out into the world, out into your outer landscape, if you will. And you follow the energy. So here's a couple guidelines, if you will. Follow the energy. Keep doing whatever wants to show up, even if it doesn't make sense, especially if it doesn't make sense. Don't be attached to what comes up, which means at times you may just cover over what you put down on the paper. And don't cover something up because you don't like it, because this is a process about really learning about yourself. So you don't want to cover up something about yourself because you don't like it, because for the most part, most of us have been doing that for a couple years at least. So don't judge the juice. Allow energy to flow up. Follow the brush. One brush stroke, one movement at a time. That's what's really important. Don't try to interpret it. Stay in your body and in your belly with your intuition leading the way. So they're just some very basic guidelines for now. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes for a minute, because there's a chance that you're going, what did she just say? That's okay. The beauty is your body knows a hell of a lot more than what you're understanding. So because you're on the call, because you're listening to the call, there is an invitation that your body, mind, spirit is listening to. So come into your body. Feel the place where your body touches the earth. And this is a very simple way to ground yourself. Bring your awareness to all your senses, what you're feeling around you, what you smell around you. Bring your awareness to your breath. And then again, bring that intention back up. What is it that you want your body right now to share with you about how to move forward as spring comes, or some interpretation of that? What do you need to know right now? And now, bring your awareness to your body and see if there's a part of your body that's trying to get your attention. So that may be you notice some stiffness or some fluttering. It may be a sensation. It could be pain. Whatever your body is telling you, bring your awareness to that part in your body. And then ask that part of your body, what color would express whatever that's feeling? And then as you get that take the very first thing that you have, pick up that color, come to your paper, put that color on your brush, and just allow your body to move the brush or the paper or the pastel. Let yourself feel what you're feeling. So 2-pointed focus. You're feeling into your body, and you're letting that feeling get expressed out onto the paper. Just keep letting that move, letting it flow, until you get the idea that you need another color. Again, what is the color that at this very moment, and again, it never has to make sense, what color wants to express that self? So you keep doing this process. And some of the things that you want to be mindful of is if you suddenly get bored or hungry or have this enormous desire to check your texts, chances are you've touched into something, a little hiccup, a little bump. And you could stop drawing or painting and go check your text. Or you can come back into your body and say, what is this? And let the language of color, shape, and form lead the way. Don't try to understand what's going on. You know, chances are the understanding comes a little bit later on, you know, because this is a way to access your unconsciousness. Your unconsciousness also can be accessed in dreaming, daydreams, and night dreams, or in a place when you're just really open. So what is it that your body, that your being, that your soul wants you to express right now? And feel free to keep on painting, keep on touching and painting and feeling and painting. If you want a little bit more guidance in this, again, you can always get the book, or you can go to my website, DaminiCelebrate.com, where there's a lot of, where I blog about the creative healing process, where there's different exercises, different meditations to get you to really understand your soulscape. Feel free to like this page, follow me, sign up for my mailing list, and join the Instagram, because together all of these things can help you to be the most amazing integrated person that you want to be, the higher aspect of yourself, by understanding your inner and outer landscape. So feel free to reach out with any questions or make any comments on this live video. And also I do a couple online downloadable classes that can help take you through the process, where I teach for a while and allow you to paint. There's some meditations. So there's a whole plethora of stuff on my website. So I thank you very much for listening, and be loving and gentle and kind to yourself today, no matter where you are. Just honor yourself for where you are. Thank you.